So in this video we're going to be looking at connecting these brackets in Finale, these repeat brackets. Finale by default does not connect them if you have more than two measures going on in a first ending. Not everybody thinks that you need to connect these. That's not really a Finale debate. I'm going to show you a method to connect them if you want to. Now I'm going to do this demonstration without using any third-party plugins, without using any automation or scripting. If you know how those tools work, you can certainly speed this process up. I'm only going to use things that come with the default settings in Finale for this demonstration. Now a simple way to do this is just to drag one of the, if I can get it, one of the brackets over and meet the other bracket. I'm shift dragging there. I'm holding the shift key down while I do the drag. Keeps it from moving up and down. It only moves in one direction if you hold shift down. That works if your layout is set and you don't expect anything to change, but you'll notice if I move the bars around a little bit, this line is now much longer than I want it, and this line is obviously too short. So Finale does not handle this very well. These brackets do not behave the way we want them to. So I'll show you a way to compensate for that. So I'm going to go into the Smart Shape tool, and I'm going to use a line, and I'm going to create a line that overlaps the two brackets. I'm not creating a line in between them, and the other thing is I'm creating a line that is horizontal, not diagonal, or you've got to be very careful that it's not even a little diagonal. If it is, you can go in here and say make horizontal, and that'll fix that. Or just hold the shift key down while you create it, and it'll make sure that it's a horizontal line. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to arrow down so that it's right on top of the bracket. Zoom in here a bit to get this just right. And it looks pretty good. I've made an adjustment so that the thickness of this Smart Shape line and the thickness of this bracket, they are the same thickness. You can do that in the options for the repeats and the options for your Smart Shapes. Otherwise you're going to get a little bit of a bump here when you print if they're not exactly the same size. So now if I go into the clarinet part, I have this line that goes and connects the two brackets, and whatever I do with the configuration of measures, it's going to react the way I expect. You'll see that this line goes right to the end, and this line starts here right after the key signature, which is certainly a lot better than the default setting. If I go to the other parts here in the cello part, I do not have that line yet, and I don't have it here in the piano part. So let's do that again back in the score. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste, but I'm going to use the filter for this. So I'm going to edit filter. It's already set, but this would usually come up like this. I would say none. I'm going to select just Smart Shapes. So the only thing that's going to get copied right now is that red line. So copy, paste, and paste. Now I'm going to put that line wherever the brackets are going to show up in the parts. That setting is in here. You go to edit ending. Right now it's set to only show on the top staff of any part or any or of the score. There's things you can do with a staff list and all sorts of settings here, but you want these red lines, these Smart Shape lines, to only appear where these brackets are going to appear. So for example, I'm not putting a line down here in the left hand of the piano because I would not expect to see a bracket in that clef, in that staff. So now if I go to all the parts, again clarinet, there's the line. Here in the cello part, there's the line, and in the piano part, there's the line. Now chances are you don't want these lines to be in your score. You want it, again, you want it to be matching whatever you're doing with the brackets. So there's a couple ways to get rid of them. First thing we're going to do is go in unlink from all the parts. This means we can make adjustments in the score and it won't affect what goes on in the parts. With a few exceptions. You've got to be a little careful, but mostly that's true with Smart Shapes. Now you can just hide them, which means you go in here and it says show. I'm going to deselect that, and it hides them. If you're happy with that, then you're done. It does leave these sort of red ghosts on your score. These will not print, but if you have a large score, you're going to have a lot of lines there that are getting in the way on your screen. So another way you can get rid of these so they never bother you again is I'm going to zoom way out. This is a thing you could do with a plugin. JW Change can do this quickly. And then I'm going to drag these lines way off of the score. I'm going to exaggerate how far I take them off the score. I don't want any chance of these coming back to the score. So for example, if I change the page size, or the measures move to a different position on the page, I want these far enough off that there's no chance they're ever going to show up again on the page. So now they're not on the score, but if I go into the parts, there they are. They're still on the parts. So that's good. And again, in these parts, whatever configuration that I do with layout, I'm going to go to black and white just so you see what it'll print like. Whatever I do with layout, it's going to behave the way I want it to. And also, if I have multi-measure rests, these are going to behave the way I expect them to, these lines, which is great. The grand staff, same thing. Yeah, I've only got it on the top. And these lines, are behaving the way I expect. And again, that's going to work with multi-measure rests as well, whatever configuration I come up with. Let me know if this is helpful. I'm hoping to put up some other videos on topics like this, little tips that I've come up with for solving some of Finale's little quirks. Let me know in the comments. Maybe you have a different method for doing this or any suggestions. Thanks for watching.